All right, good Wednesday morning, everybody. We are live talking about a lot of things. Very busy in the weather department for today and the next several days as we are tracking an Arctic cold front. Today and tomorrow and the rest of the weekend should be fine, but the front begins to move through the region on Sunday, and we'll time that out coming up in just a bit. First, the pollen count, it's improving. The last couple of days, mountain cedar has been over 10,000 at times, and now it's down to 1,300, so it's down from very heavy to heavy. So that's good news. Molds are light at 280. And outside right now we have bluebonnet skies and mostly clear weather. A little chilly outside though, of course, as temperatures bottomed out near freezing earlier this morning. We'll see a sunny day and temperatures rebound into the 60s later on this afternoon. Today's timeline, about, say, 64 at 1, mostly sunshine. Winds a little breezy at times, but nothing compared to earlier this week. Moving around 5 to 15 miles an hour at times, with an occasional gust maybe near 20. And then tonight, by 6 p.m., falling back into the upper 50s and lower 60s under mostly clear conditions. And that's how things stay for the rest of the week. You'll notice across the region and the state even, it is mostly dry. But now the Northeast has been dealing with a lot of weather. We're anywhere from, let's say, parts of the Dakotas towards Minnesota, and mostly across the Northeast, they're rebounding from a large winter storm, of which dropped, up to 1 foot to 2 feet of snow in some areas and a lot of rain for the Carolinas and the southeastern United States earlier yesterday. Now it's moving out, it's dissipating, and that's the good news. Zooming in towards the Midwest, though, they have some lingering cloud cover and probably some gusty winds behind this particular system. So if you're traveling in this area today or tomorrow, probably maybe some minor delays, especially across Pennsylvania, parts of Lake Erie, near I-90 and between there and Ohio. It's probably where the weather is a little bit more active and the winds are gusting a little bit higher. That's creating turbulence and a little bit more active in that part of the country. Now here at home it is sunny, temperature at 57 at Stinson, 56 at the airport. It is mostly clear, air is very dry, dew point right around 34. Southwest winds around 13 miles an hour. So they'll be a little breezy today. You can see occasional gusts near 20 miles an hour, especially in the city. A little higher in wind speed towards the hill country. For example, Bernie towards Fredericksburg, parts of Kendall County and Gillespie County seeing winds upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. So chilly outside, but again, temperatures will be back in the 60s this afternoon. It'll be a beautiful day. Very seasonal for this time of year. 57 at Kerrville, same thing at Fredericksburg, pair of 5s in Rock Springs. We have some 60s down south in Atascosa County at Pleasanton at about 63. Today's timeline, that is not spelled correctly. Let me fix that. It is Wednesday, January 10th, of course. And again, today's high temperature probably will be right around 67 to 68, specifically here in San Antonio. And again, breezy winds at times, but overall, nothing compared to the last couple of days. Tonight by 10 p.m., lower 50s, upper 40s. Temperatures will fall off rapidly under clear conditions and calming skies and calming winds. You can see, this afternoon, 68. There will be some 70s down south, down I-37. Tonight, a little chilly. Grab a jacket or a coat. By tomorrow morning, let's say around 5 a.m. or so, we're looking at lower to middle 40s and some upper 30s across the hill country. So a little warmer compared to the last couple mornings, but otherwise the big change does arrive Sunday evening, which is going to set up a very cold MLK Monday. So if you're attending the march on Monday, it starts at 10 a.m. on January 15th at Martin Luther King Jr. Academy. Temperatures on Monday are going to be very, very cold, right around 27 degrees at about March time, at about 10 a.m. Winds will be, gusting near 30 to 40 miles an hour on top of that. So 27 will likely feel like about 15 to 14 degrees. And right now we're keeping it dry, so that's somewhat good news. Some models have been depicting some rain around the area, some wintry weather farther north of the hill country, but right now most of the forecast guidance is keeping us generally dry. So we're going to keep it partly cloudy on Monday for the MLK March time, and windy and cold will be the big takeaways with sunrise around 7:30 on Monday morning. For San Antonio, here's the timeline. Moving through probably around 4 or 5 p.m. Sunday night. That's when the initial burst of colder air works in. And then by 9 p.m. Sunday night, 47. By 6 a.m. Monday morning, 26 degrees. And again, those northerly winds will be very gusty, potentially up to 40 miles an hour at times. That would create a wind chill right around 12 to 13 degrees pre-dawn Monday. Some models are saying single digits on the wind chills pre-dawn Monday and pre-dawn Tuesday. So something to keep in mind. You're going to have to really bundle up if you're heading out early Monday morning, but it could be worse. You can see up farther north, it's extremely cold. Where this Arctic air is originating is where parts of Canada are. You can see anywhere from Yellowknife, Churchill, where they're down to negative 40. It is extremely bitterly cold for that part of Canada and the northern provinces of the country. And as that part of the Arctic oscillation, we call it in meteorology, or the polar vortex, starts to drop farther south, that'll help the colder air to advance farther south towards Texas. And that's why the timing on this is changing every day. Originally, we thought between Monday and Tuesday, and then it went to Monday afternoon. Now it's down to Sunday night is when it's going to arrive to San Antonio. That's when we were originally thinking from earlier this week. But of course, the models will change and the exact timing of the air mass will change as well. Here's the timing on the state. You'll see Sunday night, it gets extremely cold for the Panhandle and parts near DFW. This is Sunday around 5 p.m. or so. It's knocking on our doorstep. Moving through Austin around 5 p.m. Sunday night. Behind it, 25 degrees in Dallas. Single digits on air temperature in Oklahoma City. Same thing in Amarillo and parts of the Panhandle. And then it'll move through San Antonio likely around 6 and 7 p.m. around sunset. And then with it, temperatures fall rapidly. And you can see by Monday morning, let's rewind that back. Monday morning, it drops to about, let's say, the lower to middle 20s here in the city. And then Monday afternoon, cold with highs probably in the 30s. This one says about 35 to 36 for high temperature Monday. We're putting around 38 to 39 just because it should be sunny on Monday. So that'll help temperatures rebound and the air will be dry, so you get a big fluctuation in temperatures. But Tuesday afternoon, highs in the 30s and 40s, and the lows will likely drop into the teens and 20s. So after Sunday night, temperatures fall off extremely fast. So something to keep in mind. And right now we're forecasting a low on Tuesday morning around 18 degrees. So a large dip in temperatures is certainly coming. All right, today's forecast, 67, even warmer tomorrow. Enjoy it. We'll see some morning cloud cover for Thursday, maybe some morning fog, mostly southeast of San Antonio. Middle 70s, which is about 10 degrees above average. One of two cold fronts moving through Friday. So Friday will be a little windy, winds up to 30 to 35 miles an hour at times. So something to be prepared for, especially if you're heading out in the afternoon or evening. Any dinner plans? Of course, that'll elevate the fire threat. So it will be cold Friday, so avoid any type of outdoor burning. With drought, dry air, and those winds, that'll create an elevated fire threat. This weekend, nice, sunny, highs in the lower 60s, right around average, and lows Saturday morning will be cold, right around freezing. But Sunday, a rebound in temperature, especially in the overnight. And then here comes the cold Arctic air Monday and Tuesday, a high of 37 on MLK Monday with a low of 18 on early Tuesday, and then 41 degrees Tuesday afternoon. So a huge drop in temperatures is arriving in our area. Leonard, you need snow next week. I don't think it's going to happen. If snow does form anywhere across the state, Leonard, it's looking like the Panhandle between Lubbock, Amarillo, parts of far northern Texas, and that's pretty much where any snow flurries will be reserved. There is a chance some of that rain moves in our direction, but notice Monday and Tuesday, high temperatures emerge out of freezing, and that'll be an important component when forecasting if rain does move in our direction. So we're expecting temperatures to go above freezing Monday and Tuesday afternoon, and that should help us out. But the overnights will be cold, below freezing for several hours. That'll be a hard freeze, meaning below 28 for several consecutive hours. And that'll create a problem for, of course, vegetation, plants, and things of that nature. So something to keep in mind. Eagle Pass, Vince, very similar. The air out west over Eagle Pass and Del Rio is a lot drier, so temperatures will fall off a lot quicker. So, we're looking at lows in the 20s and teens Monday night and Tuesday night. Expect very similar numbers for Eagle Pass and Del Rio and areas west along the Rio Grande. That's it for the forecast, guys. We'll leave it on the 7-day a little longer. Have a wonderful Wednesday, And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below before we wrap things up. If not, you can always message me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, or even on YouTube. We have our KENS 5 platform and KENS 5 channel we're always keeping up with. But again, yeah, next 5 days quiet, but Monday and Tuesday is when the Arctic air arrives in San Antonio.